Hello, and we're live. Welcome to our Pacific Rim US stand-up. Here with me is Amy and Vijaya. Hello, how are you doing?
Good.
Good, nice. So, let us start with Amy.
Okay. So since the last Scrum, I started story number 234. I confirmed the work that needed to be done with 234, which seemed to be just to replace the specified listings with a reusable partial. And I did that, and it went really smoothly. So I have pinged it against semaphore, it passed, and then I rebased and pushed again. It should be fine, and let me know if there's anything more that you need from that.
Okay.
No blockers.
No blockers?
Yeah.
Okay. The Vijaya?
I updated the yesterday test and pushed into my GitHub and update my PR. And Patrick commented on PR. I changed those ones also. I did not push into the GitHub yet. I don't have blockers.
Okay. So, Patrick?
Yeah, I reviewed PR this morning, Vajaya's, and I spent some time working on the search capability, which if you guys have time, I can show you something after Scrum.
Any blockers?
No.
Okay. So me, I didn't. I think no. I think I didn't review anything, so I did nothing. Since last Scrum. Okay. So you wanted to show us something? Do you need anything, Vijay? Or is it set?
Yes, I'm set. I finished. Patrick, based on your comment, I updated in my development.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll review that, Vijaya.
Yeah, I'll show it.
Yep.
Can I share this?
So just pull it up so we can take a look at it.
Okay, wait one sec.
Okay, so Patrick.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah, this is the test you told me. This scenario you told me, if the return is failed, then if the conjure create fails.
Mm-hmm.
So the only concern I have about it, let's see, what are we talking? We're talking about. I think we were talking about the job model.
Mm-hmm.
Spec model.
No. You. Oh, not this one. Yeah, job cruncher dot spec in services under services where you commented.
I didn't review the last version. My only concern that I had there was that we didn't have any tests checking the in the job not the job creation, but in the job controller, we didn't have any test there, or we didn't stub and we didn't make sure that the stub was called. That was my only concern in terms of testing. Yeah, I'm not sure if.
Yeah, we did not use any controller here. We used in the model. Yesterday we reviewed that.
I know the changes are in the model, but the model will be called
Okay.
on the controller.
Okay.
You know, because when you create a job on the controller, we need to stub the response from the service there. As
Okay.
well.
What I have to update is that job controller model. You comment on that, my peer. Based on that, I'll update that job controller.
Yeah, so let's look at that. You're right, it's the job cruncher service spec that I commented on.
Yeah.
So, Vijay, when I'm looking at this, the only thing that concerns me, I'll get back to the screen there. So this is, I think, test beginning at line 31?
9? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that looks good. The result code is actually all in caps, so exist would be in caps too, but I don't think it really matters. You're still going to fail, but just to be, it's best to be exhibit.
This one?
Yeah, the job ID exists. The word exists should be all in caps. It's best to be as stub out an external service return value is exactly as we can.
The result code is always in caps. So the answer will be always capitalized. Like, for example, the previous test that you have there.
This one you're talking.
Yeah, just change exists to all caps, EXISTS, all capitals, and then you'll mimic. You'll mimic the behavior of the service return value. It's all in capital letters.
Yeah, I will change that one. I'll note down and I will. Okay, what else?
That's it. If the test now works, and I think it should, then we're good. The thing is, we're stubbing out these. We're not playing back a canned response like a VCR gem might do. So we're taking shortcuts. But we have to be very careful to stub out exactly what the cruncher service would return for that particular call that we're testing. So you've fixed it now, and I think it should be good. As long as it passes, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yesterday after testing, it is written false before we are expecting true. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the test you have before have the same problem. Failure should be all capitalized.
Here also.
Line 25.
Okay.
So all the result codes that come from the cruncher come capitalized in everywhere.
Okay.
What you should do on these in the future, Vijay, just run and using the debugger or bybug, run without stubbing, run the test without stubbing, and see what the actual return value of the cruncher is, and put that return value in your stub in the RSpec test. You know, so it looks exactly like the cruncher would actually return if we were actually talking to it. Yep. Okay, that's good.
Okay, you told these 2 changes.
Yeah, you should be good. If your tests all work now, you should be good for updating the PR.
Yeah.
Good to go.
All 3 tests are passed. I tested them.
Okay, great. Oh, am I sharing my screen? I didn't even realize I was doing that. Okay. Where am I? Okay.
So are you ready, Patrick?
Yeah, I should have had this ready before I asked you guys to to hang out. But now I am. Okay. So let's go to jobs and search jobs. So what I've got now is wired up is the ability to search on title words, like manager, let's say, something like that. description. And these are all ANDed, by the way. All of these are ANDed together. So you don't want to over-constrain your search, of course. You could select a particular company, or you can just select all company, or not select a particular company. Also, I've got city within state selected. These cities that show up here are the cities where jobs exist in our database. So Alabama's got more than 3 towns, but in our database we've only got 3 jobs associated with 3 towns in our database. So that's why it's skimpy here. And then I've also just finished setting up skills. So anyway, let's just go ahead and search on jobs with just the title being manager, see if we get anything. So here we go. So we searched on manager, so we find all these jobs that have manager in the title here. You can see that. Also, this gem that I'm using gives us for free the ability to sort. The problem is it has this behavior, of course, but anyway, you can sort on any of these fields, which is kind of nice. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. So let's say I want to see the day shift, manager day shift jobs. I see here I've got some morning and evening as well as day shift jobs. So I'll search for jobs again, and now I've got manager jobs only in the day shift showing up here. And if I click, I've enabled the ability for multiple. Well, let's just zero out title. Let's go for this town, that town, and I don't know, that town. Let's just search on jobs there. And we have jobs in 2 of those 3 towns here. So you can do multiple select in town. I can do multiple select in skills. I know I've got, I think I've got 1 job that has 2 skills, area metrics and project metrics, if memory serves. So let me just search on that, and I end up with nothing. Okay, so get rid of one of these, see if I can find a... Our seeds database doesn't assign skills to any jobs. I guess I don't have that in my database anymore. Okay, never mind. So that's pretty much it. Search on just a company, find jobs associated with that company. This guy doesn't seem to have any. Search jobs here. So this company has a job. So if you know of a particular company you want to work for, and you have a location for that company that you want to find a job in associated with that company, you can go like this. And again, these are ANDed together, they're not ORed. So I'm searching for a job in this town offered by this particular company on the day shift. So you can see if you get really tight on your search criteria, you're not going to find anything. So that's one of the issues that I think I have with this. But anyway, and also the multiple select, you guys have seen this before, I think. You've got to hold down the command key on a Mac to select or unselect, and I think it's the option key or the control key on a Windows machine.
It's control key.
Control key. So I'm not sure that everybody is comfortable with that. So they're obviously, and again, the depiction would be radically different here, so it's actually usable. But I'd have a little instruction pop up here, help, search help, and it would explain how to do the multi-select. And if you click up at the top of any multi-select, everything is cleared. So that's essentially how this works. And so I thought maybe this is where we start. We have title, description, company. In company, I'm not doing a multiple select on. I'm just, if you're interested in a company, select that. Shift, I'm not convinced that I need to have shift in our search capability. I think city would be good. The other way that you guys have seen this, I'm sure, on the internet, where you'll get a form that asks you what your zip code is. And they'll say, are you searching for something within 20, 25, 30, you get a select list of number of miles within the zip code radius that you're interested in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we actually need that, and that would be additional functionality we'd have to add. Maybe we defer that in case we need it. So anyway, again, I guess right now I just want to get opinion. Is this something, again, this has got to be cleaned up so it's a pretty form, it's usable. I don't everything's stacked up. I can put city over here. I can put skills below it, have other fields here. So I can make use of the real estate better here. Do we need shift? I don't know. Do we need anything else? Anyway, what do you guys think?
I think it looks great, and I want to know what gem you used.
It's a gem called Ransack.
Ransack?
It's pretty flexible. Yeah, it really is smart about picking up when you create a form the things that you want to search on. And you can change and to or. You can do single selection, so equals. You can do multiple selections, so this becomes city in SQL terms, city in a list of cities, as opposed to city equal. It's very powerful that way.
Nice.
You'll do all kinds of cool things. So you can get really granular on these searches. They're quite wide. And in fact, let me just clear that. Let me click this. And I just want to see, because I live near these towns, I thought it might be useful for somebody who, lives near particular towns to search for jobs in those towns and show these are the towns that I selected up front. And now I can start here. Now this title here will be a link to the actual job itself. And then I can apply, I can match against my resume. You guys have seen a demo of that prototype before as well. So that's essentially where I'm at this point.
Okay.
And I think this is ugly, and I'm not using real estate very well. I've got everything stacked. I've got at least 2 columns here I can use. City is not that wide. I don't need a full width screen to list cities nor skills. So
I think in terms of usability, we need to improve that. There are little things like collapse the search when you search something.
Yep.
Show the user how many jobs did you find with that search. Because, for example, if you press something and you press search a job, or for example, if you update the order down, it will move the page back up and we cannot see any change. So it would be always up and down.
Yep.
But I think in terms the major thing that we wanted with this story is to understand what fields are best that we need to use as to search, that we will allow people to search with, and to see more or less what kind of information do we display on the user. So I think, as you said, I'm not sure if the shift is something that we should use for now.
The shift, you said? Okay.
Yeah, I think it doesn't bring, at least in my point of view, of course, I'm not sure what chat will say about that. But yeah.
So you think that we would only have one selection, like you can select just one town, and you can select.
In terms of towns, I don't think so, because, for example, here in the Cincinnati area, you have jobs that are not only in Cincinnati but are in towns around, and it's different towns, but people can travel around it, so so there are jobs like specific to a specific, let's call it city, smaller city around that I don't know, it depends on how people will use the job, the town on job creation. So I don't know, I think the multiple selection on the city and on the skill is something that we really need. The search for the company could be interesting. I'm not sure if will bring a lot of value, because I'm not sure if people usually, when they go to search for a job, if they are trying to search for a specific company or not. But that's something that we need to discuss with chat. But I think for now, from all of those, the only that I really believe that it's not the big thing. It's the shift one.
It's not a big. I'm sorry. What do you
I
mean
mean,
by that?
it's not a big plus for the website currently. I know
A
I'm not
big.
sure how
You mean
much ROI we'll have from that.
when you say so? I think earlier you said that it's good to have the ability to search on multiple towns because you.
Yeah, because the thing is, I think there are like multiple selections that you have there. The two of them, I think they are needed because
Oh yeah, yeah.
it depends on how people create jobs. Like imagine create a job in a city and there's a city near it, and instead of putting like the big area like New York, you can put something in New York or you can put something in New Jersey or something in
Yeah.
Newark. That's pretty near, so usually people search in more than one place. So the two multiple selections that you have there, I think that's something that we need.
Okay. So I agree with shift. Why don't I leave shift in there now? We'll
Yeah,
ask Chet when we show this to him.
yeah, that was what I
And,
was saying.
and company as well. Okay.
Yeah. I think company is something that I'm not sure if we're going to win a lot for having it there, but we'll leave it
Mm-hmm.
there. Shift, I don't think that's useful, but chat has more knowledge than I do, so
Well,
I'm not
I
gonna
purposely left out
comment.
full time as well. As you guys know, we have a full time Boolean, yes or no.
Hmm.
And I decided not to pull it in because I didn't see it adding much value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the the skills I thought were important too because I know I have specific skills, so I want to select on those across all the jobs, and so that might be a starting point for me. Okay. So, did you want to show this? Do we want to show this to Chet tomorrow in its ugly form, or do we want to wait a little bit so I can clean it up to get? We can get his early read on the concepts. What's needed, what's not needed, that kind of thing, or we can hold off. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not advocating either way at this point.
I really don't know, but I think we can show him, not a very big thing, just show him, okay, so this is how the search looks like and everything. See
Mm-hmm.
from there.
Okay. How many jobs do we have here? We have. Hmm. Oh, I had a skill in there. That's why I lost it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I've been doing limited testing like that, and everything seems to work pretty well with this. It's a pretty powerful gem. I'm impressed with it. So I'm also going to put, like I said, help. So when you click on a little button, a link up here, it'll pop up a dialog explaining how to use this thing. I think the idea of showing the number of jobs makes good sense. Also, when we come back with a set of jobs to show, hide the form here and have a little button that says show form or something like that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I can do those little embellishments as we go forward with this stuff. Great. Okay. The other thing I did not put in there was create date, or the ability to say created on or after a particular day. That's something that you guys think. I mean, at some point we're going to figure out what a job lifecycle is, and so the job selection here will be limited to only active jobs, not inactive or
Let's for
pending.
now just keep it like that, and let's see. Let's not add anything. Let's see what chat has to
Yep.
say about it, and then we can see if we need to add anything or if there's something that shouldn't be there, and build on that. Okay.
Okay. The other thing I have not tested yet, just to qualify this, is I haven't tested pagination on this. So if I have 10 or more jobs, we're going to paginate in the results section. So I haven't tested that, but that'll be next, I think.
Okay.
I don't anticipate any problems with that, but I'm just telling you I've still got to confirm that that works.
Okay.
And
Anything
that
else?
is the show and tell, yeah.
Okay.
How can I unpresent myself?
You can.
You're going to have to, yeah, you did it. Okay, good.
So I have some questions. Is the story 213? No, it's not. Is the story 257 done? Add task listing to the agency person homepage.
Yes, you just merged it.
Okay. So 300. So the 300 is there. So for tomorrow's meeting, we have the 300 is done, right? So for tomorrow's meeting, we are going to do some presentation of the agency management. Sorry, agency management, the event management. And what do we have here? So this sprint, I have only like completed 2 tasks. Looks like we're missing something.
Are you looking at Waffle?
No, I'm looking at not sure if I'm gonna be able to show you guys. Can I? No? You're seeing all black, right? Yeah. Let me full share my screen then. Okay, so 231 is still open, right? This job seekers related with case manager, is this done?
That's done. Job seekers related with case manager, yes. That's on the agency person homepage.
List all job seekers without the case manager.
Yes, that's done. Agency person homepage.
Are they, where is that one? So let me move this here. 234. This one still not merged?
Yeah, that was just done today.
Okay. This here. Okay. 267. Associate job categories with skills. Oh, this one is blocked for now. This one as well, I think. Build interface with Cruncher to pass job or parsing. Okay, so in this sprint we finished these 3 stories, or 2. Then because 300 I think it was already done. Is this right, or did we finish anything else?
It's hard to know by looking at tracker because it shifts them from the done columns so soon, but checking out 320 and 326, what are those? 320, is that still around? Agency admin UI cleanup.
Is there anything that you guys have in the need review that's not done? That's done and it's still there?
Yeah, 320. Definitely should have. I should have moved that over. Let's see. What's the other one here?
Done.
That's done. Yeah.
Do we want
26.
to show this to chat? What's this?
I think maybe what we can do is do a quick review of things that have changed at the UI level, including the homepage. Now that we have a homepage, that we may actually want him to review the content on that and give us feedback. Probably there's a few other things we've improved upon that we might want to show him. We could also say that we've completed, albeit I've still got a little bit of work to do, but for his purposes, we've generally completed prototyping, matching and searching functionality, so we can actually show him the mock-up that I've done of those. It might be good for him to give us feedback on the matching capability, because as you know, we've now got this concept of a 5-level match rating from bad to excellent, and kind of get his sense of that.
I am leaving now.
Okay, Vijay, we'll see you.
Yeah, yeah. Bye.
So it's not just job search, it's also job match. And we probably should show them what we've done there. And job matching shows up in a couple places for a job seeker and a couple places for an agency person. We can show them all of that stuff.
Okay. Anything else?
So it's not a match result page. The matching functionality shows up in 4 different places. That's better, thanks. Let's see, I'm looking at 326. Is number 326 merged yet? Actually, I think it is, isn't it?
326. Yes.
Yeah, that's so. Showing closed. Okay. So that's another small UI improvement we can show them.
That's the homepage cleanup, right?
Yeah.
That's what I have here somewhere. Improvement of the homepage.
Yep. Okay. We've actually done an enormous amount of work this past 2 weeks, but it doesn't show up in completed stories so much this time.
Okay. So do you think we can do this on Heroku?
I can't show them the searching and matching on Heroku.
Yeah, but the rest.
Possibly. We've seen instabilities with Heroku lately. I'm not sure how stable it is.
What kind of instabilities?
Well, go to an error, something bad happened on a, and it just gives you a red page with a message on it type thing.
Yeah, but that's code. That's not instability with the platform or anything else, right?
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Okay, but we need to look into this, because if we're going to give this to chat for him to start looking into the page needs to be at least minimally working, or at least the parts that we want him to look into.
Yep.
Okay. So what do we want him to look into?
So can I share my screen one more time real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna sign out.
Amy, actually, you got a minute?
Nope. I mean, yes.
Okay. So because you did the first implementation of the job seeker homepage, I wanted to show you my change. It's not huge. Can you see my screen right now?
I can see your screen, yes.
Okay, so you had your information over here,
Uh-huh.
etc. So what I've done is I've actually made it a horizontal table.
Okay.
And I added some information like resume and other stuff.
Okay.
Also, because the design here means we're going to have a pretty big page if we put all of this stuff, like best match, new job opportunity, etc., on one page.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for each of these sections, we want to be able to hide it, just to strip down. So I've added on this particular one, just hide it and show it. And I think what we want to do as we build out these other things is add the same capabilities. So we hide a section so we can focus on the thing we're interested in.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. But I wanted you to be aware of that. So
Okay.
So
sure.
Anyway.
How are you hiding and showing it? I'm not seeing a control there.
Can you see?
Hide your information. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that red was coming through for you, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's through a canned JavaScript thing, so it's easy to add. You just create a div. This is a div, and it just hides that div, and it just shows the div again.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
You are free to go.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
So what do we need him to review currently? So the job developer homepage, the case manager homepage, the job seeker homepage, company person homepage, company contact homepage. We need them to look into no, we don't have the search yet. What do we have more for him to see with some more time?
We want them to think about what we've done and make it visible to the user resume matching against job.
But we have that, and we don't have that in Heroku.
We don't.
So I'm just trying to put here, because we need to get some users and passwords for this, and I like in tomorrow's meeting to tell them more or less how to do things, so how to enter and to show him the homepage of at least one of them, and then have him give him the password user and password for each one of these, and to let him just look into the homepage and whatever we think we should look into with some more
Okay.
time.
So I don't know what we're calling the first page that everybody sees. Generally, that'd be a home page, but we're using the home page phrase. We're overloading that phrase here, but the initial landing page, we want to review the text on that. Yeah. Most of which was stolen from hismetplus.org.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be okay with it. But
Okay. So for now, I believe that should be enough for the next week for him to give us feedback. Do you think so?
I think so. We don't want to inundate him with a bunch of work. And what are we going to demo now? We're going to show him UI improvements. We're going to show him.
So we are going to show him more or less what we did this sprint. So we are going to show him the homepage. We're going to show him the admin page, just more or less so he can see things there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe the major part of our demo is gonna be the event management part.
Okay, so we don't want to show him matching and searching.
Yes, what I'm saying is that of things that we completed this week,
Mm-hmm.
this is like the bulk. This is more or less what we have to show him.
Yep.
So we need to do a demo with all of this, with especially the events, because I believe it's the thing that's gonna take more time. And then I think we can show him as well the search and matching for to see if he thinks it's okay for now, and we can just move on and merge it, and then he will have some time to think about it and to go through it with more time.
Okay, so do you want me to do the UI stuff and you do the event management?
Yeah, I
And
think we can work with that.
then I can do the match. If we have any time, we can dispense with the matching and searching if we run out of time, and put it off for 2 weeks. But if we do, I can handle that, but I'll have to do that in my local machine.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I think that's all. So tomorrow, if you have some time, just review it to just make sure everything is okay.
Yeah, we'll do.
If anything was there. I believe we don't have anything to ask him this week again. Just some work for him to do. And I think that should be it.
What was that? Send in an email, receive notification if the user. Did he ask for that?
Oh yeah. Last week he sent me an email saying that you wanted some sort of notification system in place for when people receive an email. And I talked with them, and I told him that I had some questions here on this point, because there were a lot of things that needed to be taken in consideration on this. Because, for example, the only way we can do this with 100% sure, it would be to like have a JavaScript on the file that would send us that information, and will pop up something, I don't know. But there are a lot of little things that questions that I'm not sure if it's worth it to be developing this function.
Yeah, that's you know what? I think because he doesn't have something in front of him to play with, he's coming up with all these wild ideas. We got to bring him back down to earth.
Yeah.
We may be able to look into what our action mailer could allow us to add a return receipt tag.
That's what I told him, that's the only thing, it's the easiest thing for us to do. But nevertheless, what he wanted really is a notification that people read his email, and with that, all a full set of notifications, and there are a lot of questions about it, like we should receive that notification. Who will act on it? If you don't receive a notification, should it create a task? Shouldn't it create a task?
Now we're getting crazy.
A bunch of things that need to be taken in consideration in order to complete this feature. This is a very big feature, so I don't think we're going to, at least to implement it for now. But
Yep, absolutely. That's crazy. We're not building an email management system.
so, basically, the only thing that we can give them is to add on the action mailer and the receipt to be always sent to the agency, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right. Receipt request. There might be some tool as well for when the mail is actually opened as opposed to just received, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've read around a little bit. Didn't spend a lot of time on it because I thought it would be too much.
Given what else we have to do, I think that's pretty far afield.
Mhm.
Yeah, not worth spending a lot of time on right now.
Okay, so I'll see if I can create some users or something like that on the database. See if I can find some of them to do this, to prepare this presentation for tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So anything else?
Nope, I'll be prepared to do my piece of the demos, and I'll review the agenda tonight or early tomorrow morning.
Okay.
At the latest. So.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you now.
Bye.